G'day Cats fans, let's have a look at the tweets of the week. Our first tweet of the week is from Kane P at Kane at 177. Kane says very simply, the lid is off, or the lid's off. Kane, a little bit early, but I'm feeling you, and I did get a little bit carried away myself at certain points during the game and after the game, but I do remember also what happened after we thrashed West Coast last year and then flew up to the SCG the week later. So I'm just holding firm and, just keeping my lid on it, my personal lid on it for the time being anyway. Thanks, Kane. Our next tweet is from Carla at CarCatGeel. Carla says, I don't think anyone could have predicted that. Loving the fast ball movement and great to see Dalhouse have a fantastic game. Yeah, I was making a few notes for my show tomorrow on Monday night and I did make a few mentions about Dalhouse and some of the little things that he did, but some of the things that he really stand out as well. So he was fantastic. I actually I gave him a little vote as well, a little spoiler there. But yeah, loving the fast ball movement as well. I think that'll work quite well when the weather conditions suit and the witches' hats are out like they were the other day. We'll see how it goes against an opposition that really locks down and is much more competitive and possesses the ball a bit more. We just seem to have it a bit too easy. So, yeah, it's really good to see. I love that style of footy. Let's hope that that's a couple of the tweaks to the game plan that we carry through into the rest of the year. Our next tweet is from Shane at _Willow_. Shane says, Parf has been good, but what won't show on the stat sheet is how much defensive pressure Holmes has put on, plenty of hands in, bumps, chases, etc. Parf was he was fantastic the other day, wasn't he? He was in everything, right from almost the opening bounce, pretty much. Did a lot of stuff. The one thing he didn't do much of, which I guess none of the players did, was get a lot of tackles, but it wasn't really that kind of game. It was pretty loose, checking, free-flowing style of footy from both teams through the whole day, really. But, yeah, I was also impressed with Holmes. Didn't get a lot of it. I think he had about 17 touches or so, but just looks great whenever he gets it and has made good decisions. So I'm really pleased with how he's come on. He just reminds me, I know he wears the same number as James Kelly, but he just reminds me of the way he moves, everything he does. Let's hope he can become a 3-time premiership player like Ned. That'd be great. Thanks, Shane. Our next tweet is from Frank Perotta at FrankPerotta81. Frank says, the fast ball movement, the all-round-the-ground pressure, a fully fit Dangerfield, genuine speed across the ground was electric, a lot to like and quality players to come in. Only downer was Jezza going to hospital. Yeah, that was a bit of a downer I think late in the first quarter. He went down the tunnel into the rooms and quickly got subbed out of the game into the second quarter. I think Frank the Tank came on for him. And then we saw a vision a bit later on in the ambulance heading off to the hospital. But the reports on Sunday morning were that he was okay and he got out of hospital the same night and he's back at home resting up and doing fine. Whether he plays in Sydney on Friday night, I doubt that's going to happen, but let's see how he pulls up. But yeah, Dangerfield was magnificent, wasn't he? It was great. It was like his Brownlow medal year all over again. I kept waiting for him to do a scrubber kick or something, but his kicking was off both feet was fantastic and did a lot of the tough stuff as well. That you won't get a lot of credit for. Just a couple of little skillful little possessions and handballs that you don't notice in the packs and stuff like that. He was just fantastic the whole game. Probably eased up a bit in the fourth quarter, which you'd understand. You don't want our guns, our old players, just running themselves into the ground when the game's already over and done, especially the first game of the year. So hopefully a few of those boys just keep resting themselves and playing smart throughout the year. So thanks, Frank. Jared Fox, what does the Fox say? I'm not going to try and say your Twitter handle there, Jared, other than I think it's JRodRoyd66. Yeah, anyway, it's too tricky. But the Fox says, Geelong too strong for the Bombers, back to fast attacking football. Reminded me of 2007 a little bit with the way we played and the mix of youth and veterans. Mind you, it's only round one, so taking this all with a grain of salt, but nonetheless a great win. Yeah, it was a bit of that, wasn't it? The way we moved the ball and just the little things that we were doing, it it just reminded me of a finals game, really. Just the little tap-ons and keeping the ball in front, just all the little stuff that you want to see, like players not overrunning the ball. And there were a few fumbles here or there, but for a round one game, the way the champagne football that we put on in round one, I don't think I've ever seen. No, I tell a lie. I probably have seen Geelong play that well in round one, but that's usually like Geelong of 2007 to 2011 when in their absolute peak. That was at that standard, which for this side we haven't really seen a lot of. And I think the nice conditions on the MCG really suited. And again, the fourth quarter we'll write that one off. The damage was done pretty much in 2.5 quarters there. So, and the boys just did the right thing and just eased up a little bit. So thanks, Jared. Next tweet is from Mick at MickT74T. Mick is pointing out the fact that we're a little bit too old, too slow. Dad's Army, retirement village, they're cooked. Yeah, I think a bit tongue-in-cheek there, Mick. But yeah, everyone's been saying that about the Catters, and let's just remember it is round one, and things can change. And we've already got Jezza going down with an injury already. But I think what we need our team to do is just to try and stay as reasonably injury-free, because I don't think we've got as much depth as some of the other sides, which are a bit more, got a bit of balance in terms of age across their list. But hopefully if we can stay fit, we can manage our players well throughout the year, bank a few early wins, that'll be great. And yeah, look, we might be old, we might be slow, but we were just that way in 2011 as well. And we had a couple of young kids come on that year, and Aaron Christensen or Bundy, and a young Mitch Duncan that year as well. And I think even Guthrie was playing a few games. There's probably a couple other names there that you could throw in as well. I think even Motlop was going around. I think I'm not sure if he played that game, but that year. But he was definitely on the list around that time as well. So yeah, thanks for that, Mick. Campbell Carlisle at Campbell Carlisle 3 says the shift in game plan and play style was evident as it was against Richmond a couple of weeks ago. Moving the ball with real intent. Thought everyone also chipped in today. Defence looked sturdy. Midfield looked great. Parf, Joel, Danger all firing. Yeah, the midfield was fantastic, wasn't it? And almost to a player, we were fantastic at all positions, in all lines. Probably the only one that stood out for me a little bit, and I was pretty harsh on him, but because it stood out a little bit was Higgins. But pretty much across the board, everyone was fantastic. And yeah, we did seem to move the ball quickly, with purpose, in the right direction, and we made use of our forward line. So it's what you want to see. Whether we can do it week in, week out, again, sometimes it's you playing the conditions and it's about the opposition. But if we can do our best to sort of have that attitude and that approach to the way we go about the game, I think that's a step in the right direction. So thanks, Campbell. Our next tweet is from Matt at Matt A.T. Turvey, I think it is. Sorry, Matt, if it's Matt at. Didn't really know what to expect coming into today. Impressed with the work put in, attacking football, fit players with injuries being impact related, and our younger players look like they have progressed from last year. Yeah, definitely. I think the younger players coming on a little bit. I really love Max Holmes. You'll probably hear me a little bit on this show banging on about him. He's one of my favourites. I liked what I saw from, I wouldn't call Sav a young player anymore, the big rat, but he started really well early. Didn't get a lot of it, but was really competitive in most contests that he was in. So really happy with that. Happy with everyone really. And as you said, yeah, just there was a couple of injuries, but they weren't soft tissue injuries, so that's good. If we can sort of avoid a bit of that, that'd be great. Thanks, Matt. Joey M at Warrior Boy 67 says, we played well. Essendon were poor, that's right. If we meet better opposition, we will get hurt badly on turnover transition once the specs. Parfitt and Stengel were impressive. Holmes improving. Usual suspects played well. Higo not in our best 22. Yeah, look, I think Higo will get picked in the Sydney game, only because I think we'd be reluctant to make too many changes with Cameron and De Conning probably not likely to get up, especially De Conning, with the concussion protocols. But I don't think Higgins probably is in our best 22. And I said that a few weeks back, but I've got a feeling he'll also keep his spot as well. And great to see Parfitt and Stengel in his debut game. He was great, wasn't he? He's just amazing. He was the beneficiary of a bit of some really great inside 50 entries. but he still kicked the goals, so good on him. And his first game in 2 years, I think it was. So, and you're right too. Essendon was rubbish, so we've got to remember that. Look, be happy with the way we played, take the win, but just remember, Essendon will play better than that throughout the year. But I think we got them on an off day, and I think they'll be a bit better the next time around. Thanks, Joey. And our final tweet of the week is from my boys, the Chaps Chat Cats. I've got a great podcast if you want to check that out. But the Chaps Chat Cats say the Cats moved the ball with intention and intensity for attack, perhaps not seen since the 2007 era. Another one that says that. We always love watching the Cats, but that was the most fun we'd had watching that style of footy in a while. It was beautiful, and as it should be played, as per the theme song. Yeah, thanks, boys. I'm very much in agreement that it did take us back to that era from 2007 to 2011, that style of football. You just love to see it, don't you? The fast-moving footy, the connection, the boys working for each other, running, chasing, doing all the little things, each person to a man. And, yeah, we can fault some players, and there were some mistakes along the way. But overall, I think everyone had an above, including Higgins probably. No, maybe not. I'm being too generous. But I think everyone played above themselves in that game, and it was really good to see. And even that era, in the 2007 to 2011 era, we had our fringe players in that team as well, which were made to look a lot better by some of the absolute legends of the game that were going around in that team. Yeah, that was great. So thanks, boys. And that's the end of the tweet. So thanks for all your contributions. We'll try and do this every week. I'll try and get some tweets out, depending on the nature of the fixture and whatnot. But I think Sunday night's probably a good time to drop this, unless we're playing on a twilight on Sunday. Then I might sort of delay it a little bit, but just to give me time to prepare. But that's great. So thank you, and we'll see you on Monday night for the normal Hoop Show. Cheers. Bye.